everyone and Happy New Year! I really hope you had a lot of fun. I did absolutely nothing, but I guess it's fine. Today, for the second time in this channel, I'm going to make a complete illustration. And taking advantage of current times, I'm going to use this video to talk about how was my 2020. Because even right now, I can't even remember what happened last year. Or all of that was what I had planned. But emotions are like that, you know. It doesn't matter how much do you want something to be a certain way. If your mood is in a certain way, it will be a hell of a ride to get the things done. So, as this is not a job or anything like that, I got to the conclusion that most fun and useful way of writing this script is simply putting down the thoughts that are wasting a space in my mind, which was actually one of the reasons of creating this channel. Why am I like this? Why did I write that? Now, the thing with my head is that it has these strange habits of creating rules for no reason. And because my last videos were almost all practices, it made sense to me to just make another practice. This actually just happened some hours ago and oh god, it was an awful sensation, trying to fool my expectations. I started to ask me why was I even drawing, what was the purpose of the things I was doing. Because not only I did not want to practice, I also was a lot of time without drawing because of the same practices that were used about color. Oh my god, this thing, why did I grade it so badly? So basically, what I was trying to say is all my last practices were just coloring. So because of that, all my drawing skills went away. So drawing was starting to get more and more stressful. I'm looking at this like a week later and oh my god, why? So in what everything resulted? In feeling the way I'm feeling right now. I don't want to practice or draw seriously ever again. Don't worry, it's just an emotion. I know that in just some days I will be happy doing my practices, but it's important to not obligate myself in that time. And that is right. Today, in the current time being, I drew almost all day, so don't worry. I feel so much better now. Some time has passed, so maybe it's a good time to talk about the drawing itself. That's what I wanted to do, but again, I don't feel like it, so I'm not going to do it. I don't like the result. At the beginning I was excited because I was doing a more complex coloring than before. Having that said, I actually like how the dress looks. The eyes and skin is something I haven't practiced, so I'm not going to blame myself for that. I think the only problem here is the hair. I need a revenge, I really need a revenge. Anyway, it's been a long time since the beginning of this script, and it's been really difficult to continue, but maybe I can talk about my last year now. Okay, so I will just talk about topics as I remember them, because talking chronologically will take too much of my low energy. The first thing I remember as I'm writing this is that the quarantine gave me a lot of time to be alone and learn things. One of the things I learned was how to type correctly, because before I used to use my 2 index fingers while looking at the keyboard, but with everything being now in the computer, my strategy was kinda ineffective. I cannot remember another thing I did. That brings me to school. Yay, fun! It was a nightmare. The story of my school last year was actually funny because school starts in March, so at the beginning everything was normal and the virus was just a meme. And then 1.5 weeks passes and it's not what you're thinking, it's actually something completely different. We were in PE and we did something called the beta test, which is basically to see how much you can last running, but it goes more and more faster. And what happened was that I take it too seriously that I broke something on my ankle, which made me, wait for it, need to stay at home. It happened on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday home, weekend obviously no school, and then in Monday I was kinda ready to go to school, but it got cancelled. Just for a week. Then the week transformed into weeks, then 1 month, and here I am, with almost not leaving my house in 10 entire months. Between that time I obviously had to learn. So at the beginning my school offered me new material every week to do. What? And some of them were complicated evaluated projects which started to stress me out. Then more and more work added with new online classes and tests, and oh god, I'm glad that is over. At least for now. Last year really tested me out. It was so hard that it got to a point where nothing was important anymore. I stopped caring and stressing. If I had a deadline in a week, but I didn't feel like it, I will just do what I want until it was the last day to make the job, and then I didn't even try to make it perfect. I just tried to have it done. It was the first time in years that I felt like that. I always had problems with perfectionism and working way too much, so realizing that no matter what I do, nothing was going to be perfect made me free for once. I started to eat anything I wanted while binging whatever was on my interest at the time. I started to understand that the free time needs to be free, that the content I consume doesn't need to be useful, it just has to be fun, and that you don't need to draw to make it look perfect. You can just do it because it makes you happy. So even in the worst scenarios, I was in calm, because nothing mattered to me anymore, and the months just started to fly. And I noticed the overcomplicated life that I had back then. Well, enjoying is fun and all of that, but if you know me, you know that for me it's not enough. And that since kinda a long time, I've been using a lot of my free time to make my life better and to reach my goals. And finally discovered what was I doing wrong, but I think that, what? And even with all the work and everything going on, I did it. Finally discovering what was doing wrong. But I think that's a topic for another video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Here is the final result. I still hate coloring and I don't want to do it never again. But I started to sketch more and that is really fun. I hope my little gambling entertained you along the way, and I hope to see you in the next time. Bye bye!